اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي ربنا زدنا علما يا فتاح يا عليم افتح لنا فتحا قريبا آمين يا رب العالمين. In today's session, inshallah ta'ala, we'll be covering the Tanbeehaat, which are special for Riwayah Hafs and Asim. So the points to be aware of is regarding the words which can be read in two ways, or there are some words which are only special for Riwayah Hafs. These words that we will be covering in our recording would be from Surah Ash-Shura till An-Nas. So we need to observe that Surah Ash-Shura, the first ayah of this surah is Huruful Muqatta'at, Ha Mim. So how Imam Hafs has read this word, this unit, the Huruful Muqatta'at, is when you break it down into two. Ha is Mad Tabi'i Harfi, as you can see here. Ha is followed by Alif. This Hamza is just a pronunciation, so Al-Ha, Al-Ha, this is stretched for two harakat. This is the name of the letter, how it is spelled. Mim is Mad Lazim Harfi Mukhaffaf, because Madya is followed by Mim Sakina. It is an original sukoon, so Mad will be stretched for 6 harakat. Mad Lazim Harfi Mukhaffaf. We call it Harfi because it's a harf, it's not a kalima. Huruful Muqatta'at would be read as huruf, individual huruf, so we'll be stretching accordingly. This will be stretched for 6 harakat, Ha will be stretched for 2 harakat. If you continue to ayah number 2, again we have the huruful muqatta'at with the madda signs written on top. This is to help the reader that this letter will be stretched for more than 2 harakat. So how long? If you spell the ayn, this is how it looks like. So ayn will be having a fatha and the ya sakina. It will be a lean letters followed by noon sakina. It will be a permanent sukoon. So ayn, this will turn into mad lean. Can be read in two ways. You can stretch this ayn into 4 harakat long, or you can stretch it for 6 harakat. For mad lean, we have normally 3 options: 2, 4, or 6 harakat length stretch. Here you have only 2 ways, which is either make it 4 or you can make it 6. So preferred is to make the ayn 6. Then we have sin, and the sin is what? You have mad. Sin will be having a kasra, madya will be followed by a noon sakina, which will be a permanent sukoon. So if a mad is followed by a permanent sukoon letter, it will be a mad lazim, 6 harakat long. And since it's a harf, we will name it mad lazim harfi mukhaffaf, 6 harakat stretch. Same with the qaf, it's also 6 mad lazim. So if you spell it qaf fatha alif qa, and the fa will be having a permanent sukoon, so qaf. Make sure you apply its sifat as well when you're reading these huruf. We'll call it mad lazim harfi mukhaffaf, 6 harakat stretch. Ayn sin qaf. All applicable rules of nun sakina will be applied when we're reading these huruful muqatta'at, inshallah. In ayah number 5, the word fawqihinna, the stopping is on nun mushaddada. So shadda is a permanent symbol. It will not be removed when you're stopping. Only the fatha will be dropped. It means that you will still maintain the gunna of 2 counts on the nun mushaddada when you are stopping on it. So stopping on mim mushaddada and the nun mushaddada, the gunna is held for 2 count. Fawqihin. We continue. Surah Az-Zukhruf, ayah number 51. Surah Yusuf, ayah number 21 and 99. Surah Yunus, ayah number 87. We have the word Misra in these surahs and ayahs. In Wasl, we know the Ra has a fatha, therefore this will be read Mufakham. But in stopping, in waqf, we have two allowed ways, either to make the ra mufakham or to make it tarqiq. How? Because this ra will become sakin. It will be preceded by a sakin sad, and the sakin sad has a kasra before it. So kasra, sukun, sukun will push the ra to be light, but because the sad is heavy letter and it's called sakin hasin, sad will be protecting the ra from getting light, from becoming tarqiq. Therefore, we have two allowed ways. Technically, this should be light because, as I said, there's a kasra behind it. Therefore, it's allowed to read that way. But the preferred way is to make it mufakham because of the sad before it. It can be misra in wasl, misr, or misr, keeping the ra light. In Surat Ad-Dukhan, the word ha'ula'i, and it's a common word in the Quran that we see in many ayahs, in many surahs. And if we break it down, the first stretch that you see between ha'u, you will see mad, it's a mini alif, has a madda sign on top, followed by the hamza. It's written in a way, it looks like it's in the same word, but actually the writing is, when you break it down, ha is separate and u is separate. Therefore, it's written as a one word, but actually they are between two words. So this stretch is not muttasil, it's munfasil, because alif is part of the ha, a separate word, and ula is part of ula'i, means this is another word. It's written as one word though. So first 4 count stretch, 4 or 5 count stretch, this will be called mad munfasil and it's hukmi, mad munfasil hukmi. The second one is part of the same word, means mad and hamza is within the same word. So it's muttasil, mad muttasil. Mad muttasil is stronger than munfasil. So if you're making muttasil 4 or 5, you have to make the munfasil accordingly as well. So if you decide to make muttasil 4, make munfasil 4 as well. If you decide to make muttasil 5, you have to make the munfasil 5 as well to keep the consistency. So this is important to pay attention to. The first part of ha-ula'i, the ha is one word and ula'i is another word. So they have joined it to make it one. So when we're reading, we have to read it together. We cannot stop on the first one because it's written as one word. So we have to continue. We cannot stop on the first one, just ha. No, that's not right. Because it's written together, we have to read it together. And even though these are the two words put together as one. We have the word fa'asri in Surah Ad-Dukhan, and we see that it's written as fa'asri, but originally there was a ya after the ra, which has been cancelled. So what do we have? In wasl, ra is muraqqaq because it's got a kasra under it. But in waqf, ra has two ways. You can either read it mufakham or you can read it with tarqiq. So in wasl, the ra has a kasra, but in waqf, what do you see? The ra will get a sukoon preceded by a sukoon and then there's a fatha. So this will become fa'assaru, fa'assaru in stopping. Or you can say fa'asri, fa'asri. Why? Because there was a ya originally which has been cancelled. So these are other words in the Quran that you see. Yassir or yassir, yasri, yasri, an asr, or an asri, fa'asr, fa'asr, fa'asri, fa'asri. So these are the two ways in stopping. In continuation, as I said, because the ra has a kasra, ya will be cancelled and you continue with the tarqiq of the ra. The places where these words occur, the com is in Surah Al-Fajr for Taha 77, Hud 81, and Al-Hijr ayah number 65. You will be able to find these words in there. We have this word bi'abaina. Again, we need to, in Surah Ad-Dukhan, ayah number 36. So we need to break it down and see. This is the first mud, this is the second, and this is the third. So we have three mudud in one word. The first one is called mad badal. So originally there were two hamzas. The second one has been changed into alif, mad. So bi'a, two harakat, stretch. Ba'ina is muttasil. Mad letter is followed by hamza in the same word. So mad muttasil, you can stretch either 4 or 5 harakat long. Bi'aba'ina. Now this depends if this mad alif is followed by another word that has a hamza on it, then we can stretch it for 4 or 5 harakat long, and this will be mad munfasil. But now if we are deciding to stop on this word, this will turn into mad tabi'i for stopping, and it will only be stretched for 2 harakat. So it is important to notice that this madda does remind us you need to stretch it longer than 2, but we also need to see what is the reason for the stretch. If it's a hamza after it, you stretch it for 4. Otherwise, if you're not continuing and you are not reading the word after it starting with the hamza, do not make it longer than 2. It's mad tabi'i. Surat Al-Jathiyah, ayah number 25. This is a word special to Imam Hafs, and we see the word is written like that. In this word we have meeting of 2 hamzas. Hamzatul wasl is meeting hamzatul qata', and we see that the ta has a dhamma on it. So when 2 hamzas are meeting, the second hamza will be dropped and it will be changed into one of the mad letters. So which mad letter we need to decide according to the haraka hamzatul wasl will get. So this dhamma is not original on the third letter. Originally this letter will have a kasra. So if originally this letter has a kasra, we give a kasra to the hamzatul wasl. So the suitable mad letter for this is for the hamzatul qata'a to change with is the mad ya, because kasra can be stretched by mad ya only. Therefore we will reading in ibtida, when we are starting from this word, we'll say EoT, and it will be called as mad badal, and it will be stretched for 2 harakats. We have the same rule here in ituni. We don't say ituni because there is a ruling applying to it. So meeting of the 2 hamzas, hamzatul wasl with the hamzatul qata', change the hamzatul qata' with madya to suit the kasra of the hamzatul wasl. Ituni, 2 count stretch here, 2 count stretch here, and 2 count stretch here. This stretch is called mad badal. In Surat Al-Ahqaf, in ayah number 29, 33 and 35, we have these words, Al-Qur'ana yuhyi al-mawta ulul azmi. The mad here, it looks like mad badal. Hamza has mad alif after it, but this is not mad badal. It is called shabih bil badal. Why? Because this was not a hamza that has been changed into alif. It's an original alif. Therefore, the shabih does not the original alif will apply. So we call it shabih bil badal because there's no badal actually. It looks like the badal, but it's not in reality. There is no changing happened. There is no badal happened. We'll read it as 2 harakat long, and there is no meeting of the 2 hamzas. As I said, it looks like mad badal, but it is not. It's mad tabi'i, but it looks like mad badal. So you stretch it for 2 harakat. Al-Qur'ana. The name of this mad would be shabih bil badal. يحيي الموتى. This is an example of mad tamkeen. You stretch it for 2 harakat in waqf on the second ya. How? When you stop on this word, you say yuhyi. So ya maksura, ya with a kasra under it, this mini ya that has a kasra under it, will be stretched by another ya, which is the mad ya, in stopping. So when 2 yas come, one is mutaharik and the other one is sakin, this type of a mad is called mad tamkeen. And in wasl there is no mad because it's yuhyi al-mauta. The mad only applies in stopping. Ulul azmi. The first waw is silent because it's sifar mustadir, means this circled waw will always be silent. You will never read it. The second one will be cancelled when you continuing. Ulul, this lam is joining here, so you don't read this lam. But if you're stopping on the first one, obviously you will be stretching the lu now. Ulu, this will be mad tabi'i for 2 harakats. That was the end of part 1. Inshallah, we'll continue covering the rest of the special words which Imam Hafs has read in more than one way, or they are special for Riwayah Hafs, between the Surah Ash-Shura till An-Nas. Until then, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.